What is your definition of the perfect crime? Because I've played plenty of Red Dead Redemption, but I never found a story from the Old West quite like this. We're talking all things Bert Alver this week on American Loser.
Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
On the edge they take the throne, built on bones of those unknown. Coming first, never last, still erased from the past. I am an American loser. No one remembers my name. No legacy and no future. One step behind in the game.
All right, folks, what is going on? We appreciate you. Welcome back to another episode of American Loser. Now in the Gas Digital era. That's what I'm doing now. I've realized that Taylor Swift does that. She defines her life by eras, so we're in our Gas Digital era right now. My guest is my buddy, hilarious comic, great dude. And by the way, one of the only true, legit New Yorkers I know. And,
I know.
Yeah,
we're a rare breed.
Chris Scopo, folks.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thanks for having me. I love coming to this Gas Digital studio once every 7 months when I get invited. It's fantastic.
I'll tell you what. It's you're always welcome on the show.
Hey, thanks, bud. Dude, I was so pumped to do history. I love history.
Well, it worked out perfectly because you hit me up, and then I was sitting there. I was like, well, who can I talk to about this very weird, nonsense Western lawman turned outlaw, right? And then,
yeah.
And then I just sent you the thing, and you're like, oh, dude, I'll research the shit out of that. And I was like, that's the right answer.
I have one of two, and I was like, I just help the algorithm, buddy. The algorithm here. Let's help the algorithm. I'm a slave to the algorithm. Whatever the algorithm is, I want.
Well, I was never. Were you a Red Dead Redemption guy?
No, I'm not a big PlayStation. I mean, now I play Call of Duty.
Right on.
And I beat every game. But just a little brag, I mean, I have to live by myself with a dog. I have to do something in my life.
No,
so
I
fun.
get that one, man. So I'll tell you what it was. When I had time to kill back in the day, I remember getting into Red Dead Redemption when it came out. And then they made Red Dead Redemption 2, and I sat there and I looked at the investment. I was like, this is easily a year off my life because I can go cold turkey.
Right? You don't do anything. You have to beat the game. I have to beat the game.
Yeah, I don't need
terrible.
to be digitally farming.
I'm up till 4 a.m. just fucking shooting Nazis in Call of Duty. Dude, the World War II one was the most fun game I played because you get pissed off when you don't beat them. Like these motherfuckers.
And then that was the first one because I remember what was Medal of Honor was the first big one.
Yeah.
So that was you're like, oh, I'm storming the beaches in Normandy. In 7th grade.
Yeah, but the new ones they're too high tech. You have the scope, you have everything. The old one was just fucking running on the beach. Get there, listen to your sergeant, and get the hell out of here. I couldn't. The beach one took me a good 2 days to beat too. I couldn't beat that scene.
I do remember the first time I played Call of Duty. I guess on it had to be PS3, and I was sitting there. I played it on the big screen in my apartment when I was living in Jacksonville, and I actually remember having anxiety when I put the controller down. I was like, "This is all right. They've done something."
Dude, playing Call of Duty in Jacksonville. I mean, that's a fucking white trash thing to do. That's fantastic.
Well, I mean, it's the city that gave us Fred Durst and Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
So you have to. There's considerations to be made.
I mean, that town's a dump, but who cares? That's a good town. If you're the girls there are crazy hot.
We had fun.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, he's a good guy. He has a girlfriend who's very sweet. He did nothing his whole life.
No, it's I'll tell you what, Carly's she's a good chick. She also edits this show, so she's gonna say, "You're golden,
shit,
brother. You're golden, man." Before I forget, too, by the way, Mike Harrington is he's back. He's doing good. How many weeks clean do we have here, Harrington?
Working on 4 days.
4 days. 4 days clean, folks. All right.
Of what?
I don't know. We just lost him for a little while, and then he's showing up in Italy. I assumed some sort of I thought he was an op for a minute. I was like, do I actually know Mike Harrington? I mean, his backstory makes no sense.
A CIA asset set in to take over Gas Digital.
That's right.
The whole time.
This charming homeless man is sitting here figuring out. You ever catch Harrington talking on the phone in Russian?
Once in a while.
It's happened.
Yeah.
That's And by the way, we're good. We're lucky. Honestly.
Is Russia the new enemy now? Is that the big one?
I think that people are hanging on to that
played.
one.
It's so played. We got to get something new.
Do you? Because we're roughly the same age too.
Yeah.
So it's. Did you not grow up? 'Cause I remember watching Captain Planet as a kid, and I just remember always cartoons like that and stuff from that time frame, like late Reagan, early H.W. Bush.
I barely remember that.
But it was just drilled into our head that we wanted to bang Russian chicks.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why. Well, they were hot. I think they just everyone know they were hot.
They were hot.
When the Berlin Wall fell, I think the hotties came out. That's what it was. We were like, holy shit, these girls are... Maybe comedy is a good thing here. We have the hottest girls in the world.
That's right. Well, a lot of them are on OnlyFans now, so they've nationalized their assets.
They're also on like Tinder, and you get hit up by them. Like, I want American husband. That's what I want.
It's crazy because then you hear how awful American men are, and then you're like, oh, but like when my time in the Navy, I realized that other cultures,
they're way worse. Every culture 100%. Is so much more racist than this culture too. Do you know how racist like Japan is? You can't if you can't just go there and buy a condo.
No, I believe that one too. And they don't like us, but I'm still pretty much sure it's because of one of the guys I was in the Navy with got stationed there. And they're like James Zezelinski we should not have this in our country.
Why? What was he doing? Just being crazy?
He was just a character. I enjoyed him. He had a lot of whimsy to him, but he was one of the first guys in the military where it's like I saw he took his shirt off one night to go to bed, and he had a giant robot arm giving the finger. That was his.
What an American thing to do.
10,000%.
How much does the Navy drink? Who drinks the most out of the...
Navy's pretty good.
Yeah, those boys can probably throw it down.
It was, you know what?
You can't drink on the ships, though, right?
Well,
okay. Thinking a little toilet wine.
You could bring on anything you want. I had one buddy that was great. He used to get himself a little the four banger of the Sutter Homes, and he would just sit on the ship and just.
Nothing like an alcoholic being like Sutter Home. I got to get anything here.
It was it was. I'll put it to this: when we hit a port though, and it was time to go, it was go time.
How many days leave do you usually get?
So leave and liberty. This is a great question. And by the way, hi Dom, how are you? Dom's, by the way, works for Mossad. Just a heads up, so it's I have Israel and Russia in the booth here watching us. We're in our very own version of MK Ultra.
Yeah, nice. So. I'm ready to get taken over. I would love a good takeover. Yeah.
To answer that quickly is so I don't bore the shit out of you. Leave and liberty are different. So leave is your guaranteed leave. That's your paid vacation days. You don't have to be here. We don't own you. Right. We can't call you back in. Liberty is like, hey, work day's over. What are we doing, fellas? So when you pulled into port, they had liberty call, and then you're like, all right, let's figure it out.
But you got to go back to the ship at night.
Yes, I actually had my ship hit New York during the Henry Hudson Festival in 2009. Yankees won the World Series that year. We went to the game. And in uniform, it was the greatest stark contrast I've ever seen.
Oh, Jesus, you would have... I mean, pussy was probably thrown at you.
Well, it was. I was in a relationship then too, so I was being. I'm boring. How?
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of wearing the uniform if you can't be banging a floozy on the streets?
You know what? She was good to my dog, so that's how I speak to your heart. But no, that was the starkest contrast I ever had. Was when you go into a bar in New York in uniform, and it was people are literally giving you empty shot glasses in front of you. All your drinks are paid for. All of a sudden, we're on Sunday Night Baseball. I'll never forget it. Jeter hits he ties Lou Gehrig for the all-time Yankees hits. We're there. I think it was against Boston. We're on TV now because they put us along the third baseline. Best seats I've ever had in my life.
Show the boys.
Day after, in normal clothes, I went into the same bar and I went to hand. I was like, "Let me do 2 shots of Jameson," and I handed him a 20, and he just goes, "Where's the rest?" And I was like, "Oh, all right. I did not learn what drinks cost in this bar."
Oh yeah, $20 for Jameson. What do you? It was by Mexico. We were in Mexico. No, what's the best foreign city to go to and have leave?
I only went to Dubai, so
you can't drink in Dubai, right?
Again, you can too. It's there's no really laws.
The Saudis
in Dubai.
Don't really give a shit. You just slip them some oil, they're good to go. They don't. They're such pieces of shit.
It was. We did sneak out and see Wyclef Jean. That was pretty.
That's
fun.
cool.
Oh, how do you argue with that one?
I know. When I was in college, I got thrown out of a Black Eyed Peas concert for being too drunk.
See, this checks out. Yeah. I know you well enough.
Just hammered, 19 years old. Got thrown out twice. I came back in, got thrown out again.
Don't understand. Fergie knows me.
Yeah.
All right, I'm here.
So I was so blacked out. That's why I don't drink now, kids.
You're doing good, buddy. It's first of all, Chris Scopo is one of my good buddies in comedy. Funny ass dude too. Please go follow him. Where can people follow you, by the way?
At Chris Scopo on all social medias.
Right on, man.
Right there. Very easy.
So this one's trippy because I already teased it in the cold open. It is the perfect crime. So I was going to ask you real quick, and I also was curious, Harrington, what is your perfect crime? By the way, he's in the middle of something here, but perfect crime. Think about it, because this guy pulled it off.
He's slowly siphoning from gas. He doesn't know about that. He's got a rat hole somewhere.
No, what you do is you set up an accounting error. So every 1/10 of a penny goes into your account instead of their account, and you're golden.
Yeah, but you would be the Office Space guy. Put the comma in the wrong place.
It's that part's beautiful too. I did like the idea of what his perfect crime would be. He goes, see, you order kratom, but the kratom never shows up, right? But the money is already. Dom, if you had to figure out a perfect crime, what's your perfect crime? Dom's too good of a person here.
Yeah, I'm a clean guy. I don't know. I don't think of too many crimes.
I don't commit crimes either, buddy. But if I did, I would probably try to pull off something like what this guy we're going to talk about, Bert Alver, did today. Perfect crime, Scopo. What are you thinking?
Some finance stuff. I gotta slowly.
It's when it's legal. You
Yeah.
do white collar boiler room
Yeah, if
shit?
if I'm gonna go to jail, I want a white collar jail where you hang out and play tennis all day long. I
like that one.
I like a nice little that's why when white collar criminals go down, I'm like, whatever. He stole from a bank.
Yeah,
Gives
you're
a
just
shit.
it's a different kind of a
Like Craig Carton.
extended
Remember
rehab.
Craig Carton got in trouble?
Yes.
Like, who cares? He stole. This is from what, hedge fund people? Who's crying over this?
That was I do remember just as two guys that grew up in the area. I'm not a New Yorker. Everybody knows that. It's Jersey all day for me. But listening to the same sports radio, if you could have just given me a camera on Boomer Esiason.
It was wild that day. I remember that watching that. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, Harrington screaming in the booth. What did we do?
I got fired up about this one because Boomer got called out for the insurance thing, for getting insurance through his charity. Carton is sitting right next to him for 25 minutes. They open the show with like, you need to leave Boomer Esiason alone. You're taking shots at a guy who's doing the right thing. Like, he backed him the fuck up. Boomer goes on the air the next day over, like you said, it's bullshit. He's a blackjack guy who took money from other blackjack guys. Fuck you. Boomer, have your boys back. Instead, he left him hanging out to dry.
You would think, right?
Yeah, he left him pretty. I remember he quit like 2 days later. He said, I have to resign from that WFAN. My brother one time was seeing an apartment, and I remember this. He said the real estate guy was Carton's real estate guy.
Of course.
And he said Carton just would show up with hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and be like, what if I just give you cash for this place? Or something like that. And he's like, we just thought he just made money. We didn't know he was.
Same thing in Jersey, except our version of Carton is just a long bearded man in Lakewood, New Jersey, asking, my friends are going to move in next door.
Dude, any place now that still just accepts cash only, I'm like, this is a front. This is 100% a front for something.
Oh, without a doubt, because that's how bad we are at math
like
as a country.
The lemon ice cream Corona, only cash. I'm like, come on, what are we doing here? Something's got to be going on. Where I grew up, there's a lot of underground casinos.
Now we're talking, because this ties right into what we're saying. So underground
Allegedly.
casino.
And-
Allegedly, good. Give yourself the legal leeway that you need
My
to. My
parents told me a story back when they just moved into the neighborhood, and I was very young, and they were at this like coffee place, and the coffee was like horrible coffee. It's a new place, and they see people coming in and out with like suits in the back, and they go, "Oh, okay, I get why the coffee sucks now. They don't give a shit."
We had one guy that we knew whose dad was he owned a bunch of vending machines, and then I was like, oh, I don't know how much. My parents are teachers. I didn't know what money was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I think we do okay, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is a lot of vending machines. Like a lot of vending machines.
He monopolized the vending machine business in Jersey. It's so connected.
By the way, our boy today is technically a New Yorker. In
Yes, he was.
The
Yeah,
strangest sense
his
on
dad.
this one. So I always like to picture that because it's you watch like Gangs of New York, and you're given 1860s in New York, and you're like, all right, it was pretty wild here too.
It's the Wild West.
100, but without you're not fighting Native Americans, you're fighting Irish Catholics.
Go fucking suck my dick, bro, huh? Go suck my dick over here. And the accent still. I wonder when the New York accent really happened.
I do think it's an amalgamation of a bunch of things.
Yeah.
I try to figure that out. And it's as per usual. The Irish came here and ruined everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just they bring in the.
The Irish were slaves. Okay, no one talks about that. Bullshit.
But then you meet enough Irish people, and you're like, oh, there was a reason. There was a reason. That's-
Yeah, they get told what to do. They go, okay.
Well, the reason I was asking, so Bert Alver is technically, his father's a New Yorker, but he was a lawman. His father was a lawman. And this one tripped me out because I'm trying to connect the dots, and for some reason the story takes place in Arizona.
They said he moved to Arizona when he was young.
So he winds up, his dad's a New Yorker and he's a lawman somewhere. So I picture it's like the classic Irish cop on the corner thing, spinning his pocket watch or whatever.
Yeah, yelling at the black kids.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. That's what he's doing, basically.
Well, it's even weird too because then our boy Bert's actually born in Cali. And this is a different California. This is not. This is
like it's Gold Rush, California, kind of.
Essentially, right? Because you got, is your post 49er era over there, right? What was the actual year he was born? I got to look that up.
1867, I believe.
Damn, Scopo. This is why, folks. People who DM me want to come on the show. I love you. I'd love to have everybody on, but Scopo was going to bring it. I knew he was going to.
Thank you, ChatGPT. You're the best.
This is a great quote I found out about the guy. This is how they're trying to explain him, because we did lead and tease with he has the perfect crime. This is the one we're going to talk about, and then he has another crime that doesn't go so hot. But
you ever like think about like how stupid, like how do you get caught for crimes back in the day? Like
it's shockingly.
How dumb do you got to be?
It's straight out of a cartoon how they're able to pull some of this stuff off. I don't know how deep you went in with.
I know what he did when he like the alibi.
The alibi is genius. That is the perfect crime. And then there's other stuff later on where you're like, all right, this is just sloppy writing, guys. What season are you guys on? Is it a writer's strike or something? You're like, oh no, this all happened. And Arizona, because they're Arizona and they're insane out there. I got to get out there and see it. That's on my bucket list. That's how sad my bucket list is.
Yeah, I've never seen. What's your bucket list? Fucking Arizona. I want to go Scottsdale.
I do want to see Tombstone. That's that one's on.
Dude, Tombstone. What a movie Tombstone is.
It's it gets better with.
I watched that during COVID for the first time.
Really?
And I was like, Val Kilmer is one of the best. That made me think he's one of the best actors of all time.
He steals that movie, and it's hard to steal something with that many good people, and everybody kills it. No one's miscast.
The brothers are good. Everything.
Oh, it was probably. I mean, I'm a Kurt Russell diehard too. You know, I mean, that's why I'm. I wanted to grow cool hair like you have.
His son was named after him.
Wyatt Russell.
Yeah.
Yep, Wyatt Russell. And then my sleeper favorite, who actually lives in Arizona now, I found out. This is how trippy comedy is when you have the different things you like in your life. I grew up loving Westerns. They made, my favorite movie as a kid was The Magnificent Seven, Yul Brynner, Steve McQueen. And then they made a series, I want to say it was on CBS, called The Magnificent Seven. And they had a bunch of, Ron Perlman is in it.
Really?
Yeah, he was...
Queen's kid.
Yeah, he was absolutely killing it as Josiah. He was like a revival preacher that also had a gun. He was great. And then Michael Biehn was in it, who, you give me 2 seconds, it's Michael Biehn is Johnny Ringo in Tombstone.
Oh, dude, yeah, he's really good.
He's fantastic.
He's Terminator in Terminator.
Yep, he's in Terminator as well. He's also Hicks in Aliens.
Seen a ghost.
So he's get this one too, man. It's insane. There he is, the full cast of The Magnificent Seven. Yep, the legit guys right there. And then what's her name? Laurie Holden, the blonde, all the way on the left of the screen to me. That she wound up on Walking Dead. So everybody who was on the show went on to something bigger.
Did something good.
Show only lasted 2 seasons.
The guy Michael Biehn, he kind of died out though. He hasn't been around that.
So
he was
how
hot for a
trippy
while.
it is. This is insane. That just the kismet way this one unfolded for me. Huge Doug Stanhope fan, right? And obviously Stanhope lives in Bisbee, Arizona, and he's always talking about Bisbee and everything like that. I only ever remember Bisbee from Doug Stanhope, and that's where Kim Basinger said her character was from in L.A. Confidential. That's how I remember.
Really?
Yeah, because they wind up, her and Russell Crowe moved to Bisbee. But anyway, then Stanhope's living out there, and apparently it's just close enough that he can get in and out to L.A. if he has something he has to do or whatever, and you're close enough to all the airport. Like, you can live tax-free, not tax-free.
He was the first comic to move out west. He was the first Austin guy.
He figured it out, man.
Yeah.
But this is the trippiest part. His neighbor is now Michael Biehn. So I'm listening to a podcast that him and Michael Biehn are doing together, and they are on the phone with a guy on death row, and his minutes keep running out on the phone call, so that the prison has to hang up. And every time they reconnected with him, the guy just started dunking on Michael Biehn. You haven't been in shit since Terminator 2.
Michael Bihn's like, you know what I want to be next week? Alive.
That's
It's crazy.
Did the call drop, or did the...
Yeah. Did the needle go in? Michael Biehn was good as Johnny Ringo, too. He was really good as Johnny Ringo.
Did you grow up like in the cowboy movies and stuff like that?
My dad was a big Western guy, but I never was really into it. I don't know why. Like you know what? Sometimes movies that are like older, before I was born, I can't get into it. Like the graphics.
You got to pick certain battles.
Yeah.
So
I never really got into them. I watch them a little bit now because I have the Western channel on my Samsung TV, so I watch a little bit.
Dude, they're fun. It is crazy because if you kind of swap that's why Gangs in New York always appealed to me, was that you're showing the urban version of the same behavior, but if for some reason the Old West is more charming. Like, you watch Gangs in New York and like, oh, thank God they fixed the city.
Well, also you're living in squalor. Like, you're living in just disease. Everyone's
everybody's
everywhere.
on top of everybody.
Yeah, when the Westerns, you're a little spread out a little bit. Horses were a big deal too. I think horses gave it a lot of like character.
100%. And then the one that got me was I'll put it to you this way. So a Western, for some reason, the same terrible behavior is charming that in Gangs of New York, you're sitting there and you're like, I'm repulsed by all this. And I think it is just like you said, it's the cluster of people on top of that one. But also tying into Tombstone here. This is why I knew you were going to be money on the show, because we're just having fun. The Tombstone, Arizona, is the site of the gunfight at the OK Corral. Obviously, the movie Tombstone did a perfect job on that. It's the best. Did you know that another Wyatt Earp movie came out that same year?
Yes, and he got killed.
With Costner.
Yep, I heard that.
And they thought that was going to be like the one that won Best Picture and everything. And like, we've made the masterpiece on Wyatt Earp. So Costner was actually kind of bullying Tombstone as a movie. But yeah, obviously, they weren't planning on Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer, dude, if you never watched it, watch this Val Kilmer. Like has to play a sick guy with tuberculosis the whole entire show. Mm-hmm. So he's coughing the whole time.
Somehow still charming.
And he's also the best, like the man.
It's
when he does the scene where he does the cup. Dude,
the cup one's perfect.
I went on a TikTok hole about that too. It's like the metaphors in that you can't really see, but like there's so many of them.
Someone broke down the Latin they spoke.
The Latin was really good, yeah. So that,
and then the best line possible is he's too drunk to shoot straight, and he goes, "I got two guns, one for both of yous."
Yeah, well, do you see that part? He does something where he has the gun like one way or the other like that. That to signify something.
It was a perfect spin. He was rest in peace, Val Kilmer. That guy was legit.
It sucks he wasn't really in anything the last like 10 years too.
He would have been. He probably would have been somebody good for. Because I tried to do a thing called Casting Couch, where I tried to figure out if we were going to make a movie out of this story. That's it. Yeah. Casting Couch. That's how I met Harrington. Actually, yeah. He was like, "How bad do you want to be on the network?" I was like, "Really bad,
yeah. Daddy." So he is.
Well, it takes place in Tombstone, part of this story. And it's interesting because this is Bert claims, our boy Bert Alver, claims that he was a witness of the gunfight at the OK Corral, which was legendary, of course.
Yeah.
But
it
then
could have been Fugazi.
It's one of those things where everybody's like, I was supposed to be on the Titanic. Did you know? Okay.
It's also, there's no like documents to back it up.
Nothing. It's all just hearsay.
That's why like the not Street Fighter movie, Kickboxing. Jean-Claude Van Damme. The guy made the whole thing up. Frank Dukes. He made the whole thing up. When you find that out,
I heard that one.
When you find that out, you're like, "What the?" It was heartbreaking. But he was like, there was back in the 70s. There's no like records of a hidden Chinese.
It's an underground
fighting.
Fight club.
Yeah, he made the whole thing up, and no one checked him. Like, oh, okay, yeah.
It's part of that is into where it's people were. Because you couldn't prove something, like we're in the digital age now, where you can find something, and that's where people are exposing every dirty little secret you could ever have. Like some people take a 23andMe and find out they had an older brother in North Jersey.
I got a good 23andMe. Want to hear this story real quick? My cousin's husband has an older brother, two older brothers, and then the older brother did 23andMe, the firstborn. Finds out he wasn't not their real kid. That's not their real. He calls his mom and goes, "Mom, I thought we were Irish. It says I'm 100% Polish." And supposedly the lady was like, she got pregnant at like 15, and she
gotcha.
And it was a whole like a church thing or whatever. And that my cousin's family wanted a baby, so they were like, "We're just going to hide it from him the whole time and not tell him." And
they hang out with Catholics, right?
And he found that out, and he's like, the problem is that there's three of them, right? And the middle one doesn't look like any of them. But the two older ones, the younger and my cousin's husband, they do look exactly alike. But the older one is not related at all. It's kind of funny.
Especially as an adopted kid like I am, where you're like, oh, thank God they were honest with me.
You're adopted?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. I think you probably could have. I look enough like my dad's family because they're German-Irish. I'm more Irish than everybody, apparently. But my mom's Armenian. At some point, I was going to try to figure out why I wasn't tan. Do
you know who your real mom is?
Yeah. So Sandy Burke, if you're listening, Scopo meant nothing by that. Okay.
No. Yeah. Birth mother, I meant to say. Sorry about that, Mrs. Burke. Sorry, I apologize. Get a fucking nasty DM.
No, she's the best. That's her only one. She's like, I am your real mom. Like that. She gets Batman about it. It's great.
Yeah.
So biological mom is from Queens, apparently.
Nice lady.
Yeah. Queens or man, I can never figure out. But I found a bunch of pictures, and then I reached out one time, and she wasn't really having it. And then my biological father is down in Rumson, New Jersey, like old school Jersey Shore type Irish. And it's if I ever knocked on his door, they're not going to try to figure. And you are? He's going to be like, oh fuck. All right. Guess we're having this conversation.
Oh boy.
How much do you need? No, just fund my podcast. That's all I'm asking. Come on the show one
Just
time.
rate, subscribe, review. That's all I got to do. That's all I care about. All right? I know you gave me up once. I don't have to do it again.
Oh, man. I got to, I'll tell you what, I want to unpack this guy real quick just because we have to get into the actual.
Sorry,
brother, we're hanging out. Life is good. I do want to dive in on the one, because the crime is so good. This is, even Dom's going to sit there and give us some street cred on this one. And this is trippy. It involves the story, if we're going to get into it. It's about 5 years after Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday are shooting uptown. But Arizona's facing some serious trouble, and they wind up, there's a bunch of things. There's Mexican bandits, American bandits, Native American bandits, beefs with local and federal government going on here. Arizona's not a state yet. They're a territory.
It's a shit show out there.
It's, it is truly the Wild West. There's you nailed it. It's Red Dead Redemption is a real thing.
And I'm sure everyone look at the Native Americans going, you're equal.
That's
you're equal to us. Don't worry about it.
Probably even more so, like more esteem on their name.
Native Americans are just the tribes. What they did to each other was savage.
Oh, especially the Apache.
Oh my God!
You had to fear them. That was. And then it's always funny because then you hear the East Coast tribes. They obviously spent more time around the Europeans and everything, so they were a little bit more delicate.
It's like, the Native Americans are so peaceful. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, the Lenni Lenape were not quite as vicious as the Lakota. What do you guys do when you want to take your enemy's heart out?
We just take it out, actually.
So we've actually just been trading beads, and if we don't like them, we don't give them the good beads.
Oh yeah,
that's how we
they used to take babies and put them on, tie them to horses, and they just my God,
it's brutal. The more you read about them, the more you're like, all right, so I understand why we lived in abject fear of them at all times. A couple of guys are going to make their entire career in just the job occupation, I guess, was Indian fighter. That was what they would do back then. You're like, oh, what's your dad do? He's an Indian fighter.
Yeah.
So they're tripping on that one. Also, you're in post-Civil War era here too. So there's a lot of people that are former Confederates that are going to be looking for a job, and they're like, well, I learned how to use a gun, but my government that I was fighting for isn't exactly real anymore.
And we don't want this real government.
They paid me in this money that doesn't, spend anymore. We had our own president, but we're not really sure what he's up to. So there's a lot of interesting guys out here. But Arizona's so wild that the first guy that I introduced in this story is, talk about a badass name, by the way. Chris Scopo is a good name. I think you have a great...
It's okay. It's okay.
It's a good stage name.
Yeah.
Dom, I don't even want to say his full last name. It's so Italian, and then you meet him, and you're like, oh my God, I was expecting chest hair and like a
cigar from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But by the way, Dom's black, just so everybody knows. Yeah. I know you can't see him in the booth there, but African-American fella, our boy Dom. But this one was trippy. This guy has the greatest name I've ever... If you were going to use ChatGPT to come up with the name of a gunfighter in the Old West, how quickly would you come up with Texas Jack Slaughter?
Oh, what a name. Texas Jack was
Texas Jack Slaughter.
Texas Jack Slaughter is a fucking fantastic name.
It was, first of all, you have Texas and Slaughter.
This is fake. This is a fake name.
Yeah, I have to double check everything too, because I occasionally get a detail wrong on the show, and there's always some. By the way, I welcome correction on the show. Always, when you're doing that, you're doing me a favor. I want to be right, not first on this. That's the beauty of playing in the past.
I think you probably say it a little nicer at times. But
it's sometimes it's people
hey,
are
fucking retard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they come in guns blazing. Yeah, swinging for the fences.
Fans here at Gas Digital are just so nice to us.
So, oddly enough, the gas fans are wonderful. It's the occasional Spectrum-y kid who's just like, I read that what you're saying is a lie. So, but I would say John Horton Slaughter's his full name. Texas Jack is about as badass as it goes. Add in the fact that he's a combat veteran of the Civil War, Confederacy. He carries around a shotgun. He has his Henry repeating rifle, and short of a chainsaw, this is about as badass as somebody named Texas and Slaughter can get here.
I always think about living in those times. You're always on the lookout for getting shot, getting killed every single day. It's
DTA, don't trust anybody.
You have no idea what's going to happen. You're living in the desert basically at times.
It's that's what was always trippy to me. I was looking into the area where the story takes place and everything. And what I try to do on the show is I try to find notable people from the area, and usually there's always something cool. They're like, Carlos Santana was from this part of San Francisco. That's what I found last week. And then for this one, I'm trying to look up the towns. I'm like, why are there no notable residents from the? And then I looked it up. There's 13 ghost towns in this county.
Jesus,
they blew up overnight. It was like the carnival comes to town.
Well, once they struck gold, it just blew up.
They had boom. Tombstone was actually considered a boom town for that one, where they're like, oh yeah, it's going to have. They have everything that you would want on the East Coast. They bring people in from Chicago, all that other stuff, and then now you're out in Arizona, and all of a sudden like it's big business until it isn't. And a bunch of these towns that I was looking up for the story, they still exist, but they're not. They're just abandoned. It's old buildings. It looks like a horror movie essentially.
Really, I'm surprised they don't use those.
That's why I want to go out there.
Yeah, there got to be a ghost tour in there too.
Well, ghost tours would be great too. They say Tombstone's one of the more haunted cities out there. By the way, top 3 cities for being haunted. I always get a kick out of this. It's New Orleans, Savannah, Georgia, and I've never been in New Orleans, but the Savannah I've been to, and there's a bunch of creepy stuff.
One thing about the ghosts, they never haunt like black people. It's like that's why I'm not the biggest believer in ghosts. It's always abandoned white area.
They don't mess with spirits. That's why that's.
I don't. You'd think ghosts would be there too.
Well, my one coworker, he's a Jamaican dude, and he goes, oh, in the other village where I grew up, they put out food for the dead people at 12:30 every day.
They call those spirits. Yeah.
The spirits. If you got to feed them, they have to have the good chicken and the good rice, and if you don't feed them, Kippy.
Well, they have voodoo. The voodoo out there.
It's because that's how I think part of voodoo is if you welcome it in, then it can run wild. So if you just give like the firm, give him the old Derrick Henry stiff arm and just like,
it's like a dog. You got to teach it. You got to teach it here. Hey, I'm your master.
Oh man, Bert winds up working for Texas Jack Slaughter, by the way, and they probably met. You were talking about blackjack and underground casinos before. That's where you would hang out with people. There's no that's the gathering, the watering hole, if you will.
Gambling. Yeah, you're in a saloon. The saloon's all gambling.
That's 100%. So, yeah, and then whoring too in the back.
Yeah.
If a good joint would have all 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
That's Did you watch Deadwood at all?
A little bit, not a lot of it.
So I loved it. And Ian McShane is that's my end all be all for actors.
Yeah.
I think he's my favorite. But he played Al Swearingen, who was a real life guy, and he talked about. He goes, "Oh, listen, you got to have." The card games, it goes, the liquor's in the middle, and then the whoring's out in the back. So that way you get people, and they're like, oh, let's play a game real quick. And they're like, oh, you want a drink?
Get them drunk.
Next thing you know, you're upstairs with...
They're not stupid. So, they're not. Yeah. I'd probably be dead early. I would have, with my addiction problems, I'd be fucking whores and gambling and booze. Oh, that's 3 amigos for me.
For a show that started off talking about Chris Carden, here we are.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I'm like, I would be like, I'd be dead. Yeah.
You got a little Bert Alver to you then, because Bert was a gambling junkie. Texas Jack liked to gamble too, but he wasn't a drunk.
Gambling's the most fun.
You think so?
I love gambling so much.
Man, if I was better at math, I would probably enjoy it more.
I don't have a lot of money, so it's not. But like, I like to gamble. It's fun for me.
Every now and then I'll hit on a parlay for sports betting, and I was like, I guess I'm seeing through the Matrix code. I guess I figured it out. Yeah, dude. Finally.
Do you ever have like a 4-leg parlay and the 4th one doesn't hit? You're like, I fucking hate you. Penn State, you fucking die.
I had one that hit on a 6-leg, and I was like, I got $1,500 off the bet for like a $5 bet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, then I'm stuck. Now I'm going to be gambling for life. I think they did it on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Like, of course, Darius Slayton's going to have.
So they always give us like $100 worth of free stuff. I'm like, they know. They know I'm coming back.
Without a doubt. It's
the first NFL Sunday, I go hard gambling. Hard, and it always slows down after every week, and I just keep losing.
Harrington, aren't you like a big poker guy too, buddy? I believe Harrington is.
Yeah.
I like blackjack more than poker.
My plan, if I didn't get a job after the Legion of Skanks Inter Olympics, was just to drive to Vegas and become a pro poker player.
So that still might happen. There's time.
What could have been?
I know.
I watched this guy, Brad Owen, who started a YouTube channel doing exactly that, like 3 months after I started working at Gas, and I literally look at that guy as the road not traveled.
Ricky Velez is, you know Ricky Velez?
Yeah, good dude.
He's his like best friend from home is a professional poker player.
That's insane to me.
Yeah, he said that back in the day, what were those sites you could play on? Like all that stuff? Poker
Stars, Full
yeah,
Tilt.
Yeah. He won like $50,000 one time in the Poker Stars, and he just went crazy.
It's more than I would make in a year cutting trees down from the county of Morris in New Jersey.
It's insane.
I understand why it's appealing to people though, because you got that, and I also would be in an early grave too, no doubt about it. I don't know how far out west I would have made it. I always feel like I would die.
Yeah,
somewhere
also
along the
travel's
way.
not easy.
No,
you don't
once
hop
you-
on a 6-hour flight and then you wake up, you're
100%.
there.
And then,
Can't
like
take a
you
little
said,
cat
it's
nap.
probably a 3-day ride to get. And by the way, this is also why it's easier to get away with stuff because you have to just take people on their word. But Cochise County was a trippy place for Arizona here, and our boy Bert is actually he's so much of a drunk. He's a saloon guy they called him, and then he's a gambler. So he's making friends with Texas Jack. Texas Jack's like, oh, you're fearless, dude. You should work for me. I'll make you my deputy or whatever. And they're working together. And then eventually the two of them wind up souring on their partnership. The one big thing they did go after. And by the way, I did find one notable resident, and this will resonate with you because we're kindred spirits in this sense. Bert Alver, he's going to start hanging out with a rough crowd. Early on, he's kind of hanging out with known suspected outlaws here. So Cochise County Sheriff is our boy Texas Jack Slaughter. While he's working with him, our boy Bert winds up tracking down, I think it was the Jack Taylor gang, and they go after them, and it's a big gunfight. It's a whole big thing. Jack Taylor winds up, I think, getting executed by the Mexican government because you got to keep in mind they're playing the border game free and clear back then. So
There's no wall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just get over. That's all he did.
Yeah.
Literally run to Mexico. I always like in Young Guns too when Christian Slater's like, I'm going to make it down to Mexico and everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I finally made it to Mexico. And then they just
It's
show the
crazier.
blurb. Yeah, he was hung.
Yeah, crazier here, actually.
Well, how weird of an area is this? He winds up. Texas Jack fires him, even though he helps him take down the Jack Taylor gang. That
He's hanging out with too many outlaws. And
He goes, dude, you got to draw the line somewhere. What side of this thing are you on?
like, they're more fun.
Yeah,
You, you
he's
go to
also-
bed.
He was a goon, so he was just a goon on the side of the law, and then that wasn't paying as well. So what always happens? It's like every dirty cop story, wherever you're like,
crime is so enticing.
it's
So enticing, dude.
such a good line.
It really is, dude. Just to like get over on people or like it's so much fun.
It's I'll tell you what, I totally, again, I don't know where my moral compass would have taken me, but if you can get to a level of desperation where you're like, all right, I haven't eaten in 3 days.
Yeah, we also,
things
we live
change.
in 2025 where, we have apartments and buildings. They're fighting for food every day.
100%. And then it's if you had a little extra, he probably drank his money as a lawman.
Yeah.
I think that. And then if you're a lawman, you're like, oh, I get one drink for free tonight, right, guys? The drunk Irish cops. It's just a thing. It's what they're going to do.
Hey, it's the saddest thing in life is wasted talent.
That's
and drinking is a talent for them.
It is. I've had plenty of times getting back in the good old drinking days of getting tuned up with cops and firemen. And I was like,
They booze so
this
hard.
is on another level.
My buddy's a cop. He fucking goes so hard.
Well, I used to think. I remember this because in the Navy, you're like, all right, the last thing you ever want to do is get caught drunk in the Navy because then you can get in. They don't have to abide by whatever civilian rules are. You can get
Yeah, their own personal
captain's
quirks.
mast, anything
Yeah.
else like that. So the last thing you ever want to do is be a drunk problem because they would handle that and it'd be worse. You'd wish you had jail time instead. But then, like, if you're drinking with cops, you're like, all right, guys, we're leaving the bar now. We're done drinking, right? And they're like, there's a 6-pack in the car with you, and you're just throwing bottles out in Newark. I was like, oh, Jesus. This is a different animal here,
Yeah,
folks.
one time I got pulled over by my buddy. He's a cop. All he did was just go put his badge out the window, and they go, "All right, see you later."
Have a good one,
Yeah,
McNulty.
Yeah, I was like, this thing's awesome.
Bert's definitely using those privileges here, and then what winds up happening to him is Texas Jack calls him out. He goes, dude, you're drunk all the time. He goes, you're muscle. You're fearless. I like what you do. But, are you going to grow up and become a proper lawman here? Or what are you going to do? I just want to have this motivational talk with you. And Bert Alver just quits.
Yeah, he gave him
It's
the
not-
Goggins
I'm
speech,
done.
and he's like, "Fucking done." He's like, go run. I'm gonna do crime."
I just, for a minute, I was like, a Walton Goggins speech?
Yeah.
I like what you're doing.
David Goggins.
Good man. The lesser Goggins, if you ask me.
You can't tell Goggins that. He'll fucking snap on you.
Dude, if you could swap those two and have Walton Goggins giving you advice while you're running.
Oh, it'd be the greatest thing
I just want
ever.
to give you guys advice. I can't. do
Another
his voice.
great
I
actor.
Figured out.
Oh, Walton Goggins is the best. He was in Sons of Anarchy. They played a trans prostitute.
And he stole the Hateful Eight. How are you in a Quentin Tarantino movie with Samuel L. Jackson and you steal scenes? How do you do it? How do you do
So
it?
good.
That is his perfect crime. Oh, see how we're doing this one? This was nuts, by the way. Alfred winds up, he forms a gang, right? He's running with a good group of people. These are good normal names. They're not outlaw names just yet, but it's a Bert Alfred gang, including Billy Stiles, Matt Burtz, and Bill Downing. Bert is this is where he plays both sides of the law. This is leading up to our perfect crime. He's the constable of Wilcox, Arizona, which is home of The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Oh,
He's from Wilcox, Arizona, folks. There's my tie-in on that one.
Wilcox.
This crime that they're about to pull off, it is one of those things where it's dumb enough that it just might work. Like, what did you
They
read
sat
about
in a
it?
bar and planned this thing out. They were like, "This is going to work. This is going to be perfect. We're never going to get caught."
Like, no way. This is a sitcom, season 5. Mid-writer. That's what I was pulling my references from before. I was like, this is a jumping the shark
This is
moment.
pulling a bucket. You put ideas in a bucket and you pull one out. That's ready to go. We're going this way. The best part was when the crime was he was extra loud. To give the alibi.
It's so he plans the alibi first, which is, by the way, this is how you have to come up with that one. You always have to have what's your get out of jail free card going to be when you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's the best crimes. You have that Kaiser Soze moment where you're like, I got away with it too. There was a perfect crime and this is a gross story, but it's a comedy show. We're on Gas Digital, folks. All right. Promo code loser, $1 off a month. Come get the entire back catalog. You want to hear me get super serious talking about different history stuff with my dad? There's tons of that in there. I'm shooting the shit with my buddy Chris Scopo. I haven't seen him for a while, but I got to tell you this story, dude. I want to say it was freshman year of high school for me. There was, I guess, a new kid came to town kind of a thing, and he was a handsome kid. And I guess he was hooking up with a girl, and one of the girl's friends was saying, she's like, oh, maybe like, I could talk to him too, kind of a thing. And this girl got so jealous that she pulled off her version of a perfect crime. This is the perfect crime.
For rape? Is that not what we're doing here?
This is, I'll tell you, when you hear the crime, you're going to be like, oh, that's perfect, because it sounds like something Van Wilder would have done.
Okay.
She gave him the old HJ, right? This is the girl giving her boyfriend the HJ, and then collected his specimen, kept it in a bag, and then put it in lip gloss and gave it to the girl. And she goes, oh, why don't you try this lip gloss? And then I guess when she was putting on the lip gloss that was mixed in with, his specimen, we're playing around with the YouTube thing. She, I guess they waited like 2 or 3 days to tell him, oh, by the way, how you wanted to hang out with my boyfriend? You've been hanging out with him in your lips all week.
That girl's a problem. That's a problem right there. And she's definitely divorced. 100% divorced. There's no way.
Well, she didn't marry him, I don't think.
No, not somebody else. There's no way that girl is that much.
One of my favorite moments in high school ever was we all knew the story right away, and then we had a teacher that was retiring there. He was my history teacher. He was a Hungarian dude named Mr. Kračević. He was awesome. Nothing but love for him. I hope he's doing great. But he had escaped from Hungary, during communism, and he just loved America. His last day of school, he actually lit up a cigar and just chilled there, smoking a cigar with us in the. He was the man.
People who love America the most are people who escape from a socialist or communist country.
Without a doubt.
They love this place so much.
Why do you think Dom worked so hard? He came from the Democratic
Congo.
The Congo, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. He escaped. It was Ford Burnham. I forget his name, but
my dad's friend's like a multimillionaire. And he's from Iran. He's from Iran. He's like, I fucking love this place. This place is amazing.
Yeah, why would you not love it here, man? There's no regulation.
Yeah.
But he knew the story, Mr. Kračević. He just goes, he's sitting there talking to us the one day. He goes, let me ask you guys something. If you know about the girl who put the he just said the jizz in his Hungarian accent. She puts in the lip gloss. How do you even come up with that?
It's devious.
It was her perfect crime.
That's a good crime. I still think that girl's a problem.
You're not wrong.
You have to Google her after. See what the hell she's up to. She's serving 2 to 5.
No, we're still friends. She's a great chick.
Yeah.
This is where that perfect crime comes in because they have the alibi right away. So people looking for a date and time on this one. September 9th, 1899. Bert and his pals are in the back room of a place called Schwartner's Saloon. And Bert will bribe a porter, a.k.a. a waiter, a.k.a. a server. And this is the best part of it. I don't know if you got into this part. This is their alibi. It's how concrete it is. They put themselves in the back room of this saloon, and they're playing poker and drinking. And they tell the server, they're like, hey, keep coming in here every 10 minutes with full glasses of beer, then dump them out on the floor, and then go back out there and be like, whoa, intense game of poker going in there, guys. The gentlemen do not want to be messed with. Just leave them alone. Let them do their thing in the back. It could get ugly in there. And it's Bert and his 4 pals, Billy Stiles and the 2 other guys. And this is where I thought it was one of the most genius things. They waited. They knew that the train was going to come in because Bert is legit constable, the sheriff. He's supposed to be the lawman in town. They wait for the train to arrive in their town of Wilcox, right? And they know that it's heading to the Cochise County station. So they sit there and they realize, like, all right, well, there's a steep incline over here, and they have to go slow enough that we could actually ride up to the train, and somebody could hop off and get onto it, and then we can hold up the conductor, and then we can rob the entire train. They're looking for like Wells Fargo money. One of the other robberies, I think they went after. It was the U.S. Army's payroll they were going after. So you're talking about
They know
getting
cash is there.
100%
Cash or gold.
Yeah, and crypto, a little crypto.
Yeah, they're mining Bitcoin out there. And
You said you were a miner. What you going after?
it's a smart move to do. Like, some criminals are pretty smart people. Like,
Well, the line about Bert was that he was he probably had an IQ around the same measurement as his waist. Which
Yeah, I
they're,
saw
they're
that,
trying
yeah.
to say he's a moron. But,
Yeah.
but for some reason, he saw with perfect vision. He goes, so what we do is we're playing poker, we're drinking. The server will keep coming in and out, so they make it seem like we were here the whole time. As soon as we hear that the train's in the station, we all put our cards down mid-hand, right? And we come, we dive out the side door.
Mm-hmm.
4 guys ride off into the night. They rob the train. They come back with not a shot is fired. Everybody just coughs up their wallets, whatever. They get into the safe. I think they wind up blowing up one of the safes or something. So it's straight up Red Dead Redemption stuff. This is every Western movie I ever grew up watching. But this one's real. And apparently this particular robbery has a special place in history because of the part we're going to get to. They hop back in the side door, pick their cards up, and go right back into their poker game. And this is after they stash the loot, so no one's going to find them. And Harrington, wouldn't you know it? This is my favorite part of the whole story. Eventually, the conductor of the train comes back, right? He literally has to go backwards on the train tracks, come back into town and go, so I have to report a robbery. And they're like, oh, you should go tell the constable. He's playing poker with his buddies in the back.
they knew, though. They knew it was going to happen. And it was like, yeah.
And like you said,
That's like a serial killer going back to the scene of the crime.
That's right. Just Dexter looking over everything there.
Oh, what was that over here? Yeah. A smart guy, though. Smart guy to get the job. And he knew that, everyone's like, they were in the back the whole time.
Right. Well, you knew about the reaction. You were saying that he was over the top with the reaction.
Yeah.
That's so the conductor comes in like, we have to report a robbery. And he goes, oh, my God.
Who would do such a thing? The vagrants out there in the land.
This is where it gets even better is so now they report the crime to him. And Dom, this was my favorite because this would be essentially us if we pulled this crime off. If it was the 4 of us, we're sitting there pulling off this crime. Shannon comes in and then just goes like, someone just robbed all of our liquor locker. And I'll sit there and I'll be like, well, I don't drink, so I should get involved with this investigation. And real quick, we need to form a posse. You 3 with me. That's what he says. He pulls his buddies that just helped him off with the heist.
Did he deputize him or some shit real quick?
They got deputized for a posse. Right?
Yeah.
So they ride out. They spend the whole night out there running around, chasing themselves.
Yeah.
That was
it's also cover up tracks. You could just cover up whatever tracks you left.
It was perfect. It was a picture. I'll go to the movie Heat. Just picture De Niro, but instead of Al Pacino in his role as the cop, it's just De Niro investigating himself the whole time. Yep, nothing to see here, folks.
It's like what's his name in the CIA who got caught by the Russians? Robert, the spy.
What do you got?
The spy guy. I forget his last name. Robert.
Redford.
He was the biggest. He leaked the most secrets to Russia over like 20 years. Never heard of this guy?
No.
Well, I gotta Google his name. But he was tasked with finding himself.
That's actually perfect.
They knew he was. They knew he was. There was a leak, and he was the one that was.
I wonder if I think Harrington found it.
Robert Hansen.
Hansen, yes.
Robert Hansen. Oh, future episode here. Come back on for
Robert
that one, please.
Hansen. Yeah, he was tasked with finding himself.
That one's beautiful.
There was a movie about it. I forget the name of the movie, but it's a really good movie.
I got to check that one out then, man. Because come back on
caught,
for that one.
He knew he was like he was in a park, and that's where he got arrested in a park in like 2003 or something like that. And he was he's in 24-hour lockdown. He'll never see the light of day again.
That makes sense to me, though, man. Probably how you want it to a certain degree.
Yeah, this guy they said he was responsible for a bunch of deaths of like assets and shit.
Dude, all right, when we do that episode, come back on that, because I got to give you credit on that. See, I learned something new here today, folks. Now, by the way, people start to sniff around a little bit, and they're like, I don't know, I feel like maybe Bert might have been in on this one. But Bert is able to maintain things. He plays it cool. He does the Jimmy Conway post Lufthansa.
Yeah.
Right? He's just sitting there.
Don't do anything big. Nothing big.
That's what they did. They hid the money.
Back.
He wouldn't give his guys the money because he knew that they were going to spend it in town. He goes, oh, you guys are all drunks and gamblers. You're going to just all of a sudden have an extra $1,000 you shouldn't have. So they pull off the perfect crime. They get away with this one. But What,
You got to go back.
You have
it's
to.
addicting.
They can't. The
adrenaline.
100%.
Yep.
They're drawn right back into it. They pull off the perfect crime over here, and unfortunately, this is what's going to happen. They do pull off that beautiful thing of getting to investigate themselves and finding out they did nothing wrong. So that one works out for you here. But this is going to get trippy. The next robbery that they're about to pull off is going to be even more daring or more stupid, depending on how you do it. This one's also very well written about as well. Like all criminals, Bert and the boys can't walk away. Less than a year later, we're talking months later, Bert and the Bert Alver gang are ready to rob another train, and this time it's going to be in broad daylight. And one of the only known so these guys have a special place in history. That's why Bert Alver actually has a street named after him in I think it's in Cochise County, they were saying, because Wilcox is actually, it's still around, obviously. They gave us Ted DiBiase. Yeah. But a couple of the other towns are ghost towns still. So anyway, long story short is Bert Alver has two of the most famous robberies in the Old West ever. That's why he's this week's American Loser. The number one being where he investigates himself after pulling off the robbery.
The best.
And then number two is this is the only one in the history books where it was a broad daylight train robbery that happened at the station with witnesses.
That's a good one.
It doesn't really go their way.
Yeah, that's the bad. You kind of get upset about it. I was like, you should have did it that night again. What are you doing?
It's if they could have pulled off a couple things differently.
Yeah.
Now Bert's not at this robbery. I think Bert. It was hard to figure out if he was actually still a lawman or not. I
think he was gone by this time. I think my reading. I think
so.
He was.
Quit. Yeah, he resigned from a couple positions, and then they were saying one page said that he turned bad. Just went full, Breaking Bad on it. And then another one said that he would pick up the job and then find a way to work it as an angle. Like, because once you're a lawman, you're like, oh yeah, I was a lawman in this, Cochise County. And they're like, oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's where Tombstone is. So anyway, this is what I love. This was the kismet moment on this one. Broad daylight with witnesses. Bert's gang with members now going by the names of Three Finger Jack. Good name right there. And Bravo Juan was the other guy's name. These the five guys are going to fake like they're drunk cowboys near the train as it arrives. Their plan is to act quickly and catch everybody off guard. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you're rooting for, you may have that thing as where you root for the bad guy.
I'm for the bad guy. Come on, I'm Italian.
You want De Niro to get away at the end.
Yeah,
of the
we
heat.
know what's going on. Yeah, go. Why'd you go back in the hotel?
It's where's Waingro? Where is he? There's a guy on this train, and this is where if you're rooting for Bert. Bert's got a longer story. He'll get more love on another episode. But this particular one, this is why this is an important bank robbery here. There's a guy on the train named Jeff Milton. And Jeff Milton is on the train working for Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, by the way, not just a bank. This was, the Pony Express, all that other stuff. Wells Fargo was, that was the guys with the scatter guns. Not even a shotgun, a scatter gun, where you just don't mess with these guys.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, yeah, it was... If you had the guy riding, like when they say shotgun, that comes from the stagecoach thing, where the guy that would ride shotgun is to make sure, because at any given moment, like you said, you're in the Old West, people can just descend upon you. So our boy Jeff Milton is a former Texas Ranger, tough as nails reputation. In fact, guess what, Scopo? He had once helped a guy track down the Jack Taylor gang. Yeah, literally. This guy, Jeff Milton, they knew him. Bert knew him. Because with Texas Jack Slaughter, not to be confused with anybody else, they hunted down the Jack Taylor gang. So this is literally a guy that they used to ride on the side of law enforcement, track bandits down. And now they're trying to find, all right, we're looking at his shift. What train is he going to be on? And they found the day that Jeff Milton was going to be off. Like, last thing we want to do is get on the wrong side of Jeff Milton.
Jeffy.
Yeah, he's a badass dude. I believe he was, his father was a Confederate governor. That's how plugged in this dude was. So... anyway, they pull in. They're about to, have this big showdown here. They think it's going to go seamless like the first robbery.
What happens?
Goes to shit in a hurry.
Yeah.
Man. It's like betting the over on a Giants game last season. The parlay
never
falls apart.
happens. And I hate betting unders. I hate betting unders so much. I'm an overs guy.
By the way, Graham Gano, fan of the show.
No way.
Yeah, and the Scottish Hammer, Jamie Gillan.
Jamie Gillan. Yep. I love that guy.
Good man. The Scottish Hammer.
Jamie, give me tickets.
I tried. I was like, hey, can I send you a copy of my book? He goes, thank you. That's all right, good, respectful.
I was hoping for something else in return.
He digs it, man. But Bert realizes that don't want to get on the wrong side of Jeff over here, so they plan it on a day when Jeff's not working on a train he's not going to be on. But somebody calls out sick.
Jeff's a good guy. Comes in.
He's a good dude.
He comes in. He's like, I got you back. Don't worry about it.
So Jeff thinks they're joking when the drunken cowboys pull their guns out in broad daylight with witnesses. And apparently he doesn't actually react until they shoot his hat off of his head. So that's when he actually snaps into Wells Fargo, John Wick mode. He gets shot in the arm. I think it severs his artery. He lives. I don't think he has use of his right arm the rest of his life.
Didn't he shoot back? I think
he does wind up shooting back. So he hides himself, behind a barrier, if you will. And now the gangsters are coming in. The Bert Alver gang. Literally, that's all it is. They're just gangsters.
If I'm ever forced to protect something and you rob me, just take it. Like, I'm not going to fight back.
I think about it sometimes. Everybody has that moment where you're like, "Is this the moment?"
I'm not. No, I'm not a hero.
We're both Robert Kelly guys. We've both seen him when he wants to have that moment where he just throws a guy up against the wall.
No, I'm not having that. Take the money. I don't give a shit. I could care less if you steal from my company.
Company, yes. I guess once he was shot, he kicked into gangster mode.
Before I got shot, though, I'd be like, no, take the money. I wouldn't. There wouldn't be.
Do you guys want keys? Like, are you on a schedule?
I'll fucking do it for you. Yeah, the code's 04013.
I wonder where I would draw my line on this one, but Jeff, once they shot him, it all kicks in. He's probably on reflexes at this moment. 10 gauge shotgun. Oof. Not 12, folks, not 20. Okay, obviously, people who know guns, they also know that a 20 is lighter than a 12, so therefore a 10 is going to be a little bit more intense than even a 12. 10 gauge shotgun empties the barrel straight up into, this is in Fairbank, Arizona. This is the infamous Fairbank.
All while being shot.
Yes, on this day in 1900, Bravo Juan and Three Finger Jack are going to have a rough day. Three Finger Jack takes buckshot to the belly from a 10 gauge.
That's a tough one.
Courtesy of Jeff Milton, right? And then I think as he's turning and running away, Bravo Juan takes a couple pellets in the ass. So, and by the way, how are you going to make your escape, Scopo?
Also, you know how
on
much
horseback.
How many hemorrhoids you going to get from that thing? Oh my god,
bloody ass.
This guy can never shit again in his life. Just kill me now.
A little kind of different dysentery, right?
Yeah. Oh god.
So guess what they get away with? They're at
$40. I think
$17.
$17. Yeah. That's probably like $200 nowadays.
Even worse, by the way, is, and this is how Bert Alford lost his respect as a lawman, if you will. There's a little bit more on his backstory we'll get to another time, but this is what I loved about it, is that as these guys are making their escape, they realize Three Finger Jack is slowing them down. Right? He's not going to make it. He's probably going to die. He's dead meat. It's the classic thing in a movie. We're just going to leave this guy. He's done. Right? As they're riding away from their friend.
Three Finger Jack does not forget.
Nope.
He's pissed.
Three Finger Jack points, he gives them 2 middle fingers, right, if he even had them. And he winds up ratting out everybody because eventually the posse that's coming after them from the shootout in Fairbank, they find Texas Jack on the trail. And they're like, hey, you're probably going to give us a hard time, right? And not want to give up your friends because you have some weird sort of outlaw code. He goes, oh, no, those assholes?
Yeah, pieces of shit.
I'll tell you what, those 2 assholes that rode away, it's Bravo Juan. He's the one with the bloody ass.
Why did you shoot him? I would have shot
Billy
him.
Stiles is over there, too. And by the way, also, just let's throw it in here. Bert Alford, you guys know your sheriff? You guys are the one you trust with everything? Yeah, no, he's the one behind all this.
Yeah,
so
he didn't even have to get out of jail for that one. He just gave them all up. Piece of shit. I was surprised they didn't just shoot him there.
It's
dead men can't talk.
That would have made. I think they were trying. Apparently, one story was that they left him like a bottle of whiskey, and they're like, "Yeah, this will ease your pain. So just enjoy. Tie one on one last time, and then you'll be dead by the time the sun comes up." But he was annoyed.
He tied one on.
He ratted him out. He went full Henry Hill. Gave up everything, but. They wind up getting thrown into jail here. So Bert is in jail now, and guess what? It's even worse now. It's worse than Henry Hill because now Billy Stiles, who is his right-hand man, realizes that the jig is up. So he walks over and he rats everybody out, goes to the authorities, cooperates as a full witness, gives up everybody.
I mean, it's like there's no loyalty.
There's not.
they did not sign the Code of Immorta.
And now I got to turn my back on you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Billy Stiles gives them all up. These guys get thrown in jail in Tombstone. And this is the third and final part of this episode where it's another infamous thing in history. Billy Stiles is, because he's cooperating, they let him do what he wants in town. He's just walking around Tombstone. He goes, yeah, I got this witness thing. I'm going to be very important in a trial coming up. I thought, oh, sure, I'll play a little blackjack. What do you guys want to get into? And Bert and the gang are all behind bars. Until one night they're like, I can't believe Billy turned on us. He's literally, we're going to die at the gallows now because of this. And our boy Billy Stiles is going to walk in, and he has a gun on him. Walks right up to the jailer and he goes, hey, these guys are all the gang members I'm putting away, right? From my former friends. And he's like, yep, it's all of them here, 26 guys. And he, I think it was only about 5 guys were actually in the gang, but there's 26 prisoners in the Tombstone jail. Billy Stiles pulls a pistol out, points it at the jailer, and goes, open up everybody's cell, please. but you were going to be our witness. He goes, you can't trust me. I'm an outlaw, dude.
I'm not gonna lie, Billy, smart guy. He knew what he was doing.
You ever see Observe and Report?
No.
It's first of all one of the best comedies ever. But Michael Pena destroys that movie. He's fantastic in it. He's actually funnier than everybody in the movie, and it's got all the killers in it. But there's a scene where he just goes, you know me, I'm a fucking outlaw.
I'm doing bad things. Criminals do bad things.
So Billy pulls off one of the biggest jailbreaks in history that also happens to be in Tombstone. This is maybe, I can't remember exactly. This is the same town that gave us the gunfight at the OK Corral. Now gives us the biggest jailbreak where 26 people ran out. Now, this is what I'll ask you. This is the final question here. I was going to ask Dom and Mike this one too. So I'm posing the question for all three of you fellas. I want to hear your answers. Let me know what you guys would do in the comments here. You're in jail. You're facing, let's say, some somewhat serious charges. Not the death penalty. You're not going to hang.
10 years, 10 plus
years.
years.
If you're going to hang, you're leaving as soon as the door cell opens, right? But if you got a chance, you're like, all right, maybe I do 2-3 years in Yuma, figure it out, get back to my family. If you think you can take a chance with a jury and you think you might even get away with the crime, right? You have not been sentenced yet. And somebody comes in and pulls off a jailbreak. The guys in Bert Alver and his gang, they escape. They wind up even sending the jail keys back, I think, in the mail. And
that's pretty fuck you. That's a funny fuck you.
Bert had some charm to him. But where would you be, Chris Scopo, if you're in there, you got like, all right, my trial's coming up next week. I might beat it, or I might get 3 to 5 years in some sort of a labor camp. Well, are you taking the chance when they open up the gates?
Probably leaving. I mean, it's the 1800s. You could just disappear into the desert.
Yeah, go out, shave your mustache, and just be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's not me on the poster that someone drew. Yeah, that's the great point. But you could just get away with everything back then. You just shave your head, shave your mustache.
I always loved it.
And that's not me at all. It doesn't look like me at all.
That was actually voting fraud early on. They used to say
they used to go in and shave people's heads. Yep.
Vote early, vote often.
But like it's like there's no fingerprints.
Nope.
Nothing going on there. So I would get the hell out of there.
Unless you got a Pinkerton agent that's coming down to track you down.
I know what's funny? I was shocked the Pinkertons were not in this more often.
It's the Arizona Rangers get involved with Bert's story later because he has a little bit of a redemption arc that I'll get into in another episode. But so Scopo's going, by the way. All right, Scopo's going. I'm probably going to be honest with you, because I
can't have the man on me.
Here's the real question: can I see my mom again? Because I'm a mama's boy.
She got to make my sauce.
So if I
need my mom to make my sauce on Sundays and do my laundry.
If you're telling me that like I'm within like a short travel, if my mom's all the way back on the East Coast, I'm never going to see her again, or I don't know what happened to her, then I'm probably. But if I'm such a mama's boy, I would sit there and be like, all right, if I can escape jail and see my mom again, then I'm probably going to do it. Or I would sit there and be like, my mom would be very disappointed in me if I left jail during this jailbreak.
My mom would say, get the fuck out of there. My mom would go, get out of there. You're not going to jail.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, you're an idiot. Get out. Let's go home.
Dom, you're going to bust out with the rest of the outlaws when they open up the jail cell?
I would get out there, yeah.
I think I would probably. You're probably right. We're going 3 for 3 on this
because
one.
It's probably harder to get. It's way harder to get caught.
I think so.
So you could live a life, change your name, and live a different life.
And the esteemed Dr. Michael Harrington, we won't say where you were in Italy, but I believe it was a correctional facility, correct?
Man, yeah, and I got out of there, I'll get out again, dude. I don't care.
Yeah. Also,
Door opens.
If you do get caught, like I'll just get out again. Someone else would do something like that.
It really is. It's like one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies where you're just like, oh, the dog has our jail keys. Sometimes it just happened that way back then. But Bert and the boys actually pull off the full-on escape. Some inmates stayed and faced their trial, and I'm sure they were hoping like, oh, we're getting off for good behavior, right?
Because soft.
We could have gone out on a jailbreak, but we didn't, right? Nope, Yuma. You're going to go, here's a shovel, make these big rocks into little rocks.
Yeah. Your name is Nick Papa Giorgio from Yuma, Arizona.
Good poem.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all I got for Bert on this one here, folks. Harrington, Dom, you guys want to say anything to the people on the way home?
No, this is, it's very frustrating to hear that you had the crime of the century and then the bungling of the century in in such a short stretch. It's tough.
It's pretty amazing. It's like a mission goes wrong.
It does take a special person to just do one crime and then walk away. You can't do it. It's so hard to do.
Harrington did it.
Yeah.
Yep, Harrington did it. It was, do you guys remember, he actually framed Craig Carton for...
Crazy. Oh, my God. You're the hedge fund guy?
That's right. Yep, he was working for Boomer Esiason at the time, and he goes, listen, we got to make your co-host go away. Yeah. But sorry for all the New York sports talk right here, but this is just what happens with me.
Google Craig Carton. You'll get a good kick out of it.
I'll be calling in. We got Kevin from Gas Digital here. What do you got to say for us?
The fucking Yankees suck, and also, Craig, you're an asshole.
Sanchez doesn't hustle.
Yeah, back in my day, I love they call up and go, back in my day, this is how they play. It's like, shut up.
And Christmas trees were bigger.
It's because they're fucking woke.
I love that, man. Do me a favor, folks. You get a chance to see Chris Scopo live. Go do it. Great comic, great dude.
Thanks, buddy. This is fun. I have a blast doing
You're
history.
coming back already, so come on back anytime. Open invite.
Let's do. Want to hear something? I have a good thing that I think we. Did you ever do Hitler? Did you ever do like the conspiracy?
Which one?
The the good one. The conspiracy he didn't die. I 100% believe he didn't die in World War II.
There's History Channel will not go out of business until all those things are finally revealed. We talked just before the show about the Patton thing, and I do promise I'm wrapping up here, fellas. I apologize. The Patton one, until I read the conspiracy about his death, I was like, yeah, that's whatever. That's just like, wait, what? Hang on. Why am I? All right, these files are like redacted or something. Like, nope. It's all. I literally read the Camden, New Jersey newspaper article about the kid who collided into Patton. You can find the original article. It's preserved on there. They tell you everything without telling you because they don't know that it's big enough. They're like, oh, a local boy struck General George Patton with his truck. And then you start looking into that guy and you read his obituary and you're like, oh, this is pretty. I did not have to go far to go full Alex Jones on this one. So
it's great.
But it's trippy, man. You guys know what we do on the show over here. Check out, it's at KP Burke Sucks over on Instagram. I'm putting out new reels pretty much every week, I think, at this point.
I love your reels.
Dude, it's that all Harrington's idea, by the way.
So much fun, like history shit. I love it.
We give it 90 seconds or less. That's what I try to go for on this one. But that was all a Mike Harrington joint. And our good friend Becca Kaplan helped us do the first couple. And now Carly does all of them. So sorry. I know you love that. I don't
Carly, you ain't never leaving him, okay?
No,
you need help with those reels.
She's stuck. I got squatters' rights. But Dom and Harrington, I love you guys. Chris Scopo, I love you, buddy. Guys, that was Bert Alver, American Loser.
On the edge they take the throne, built on bones of those unknown. Not in first, never last.